Now I'm going to have a much more detailed piece that I've written on this in the description so you can take a look at it for yourself. In a nutshell, this has to do with touchscreen devices. Which, apparently I thought I had the Voyager in front of me. I don't. Oh well. Touchscreen devices like the LG Voyager, like the Apple iPhone, like the Microsoft Zune HD, like the new range of Windows Mobile and Android devices. Those present a very serious problem to those who cannot see them. Now granted, there is a screen reader for Windows Mobile, and there's a screen reader just released for Android. Excuse me. And there's a screen reader for the iPhone. Pardon. But what people don't understand is the touch screens are just not the best for us. The iPhone does not have any tactile feedback, and while it's certainly usable and a lot of people like it, it's very easy to use. It's in my view, it's still not ideal. Let me explain. There's no substitution for good tactile feedback. If you want a device that's truly designed for us, here's what you can do. You go to google.com, you Google search the words PacMate Omni, P-A-C-M-A-T-E space O-M-N-I. The PacMate Omni is a Windows Mobile 6 Classic device, but it's not in a handheld form factor. Instead, I don't know if you can hear that, that's my fingers running along my keyboard there. They've basically taken a Windows Mobile device and jammed it inside of a keyboard. Now, why in the world would you do that? Well, you need to understand that when you're blind, you can't see the screen, you can't see the arrow, you can't use a mouse. So what we do is we've taken the computer and transferred all of our commands over to the keyboard. And that's what they've done with the Pocket PC environment, the Windows Mobile environment as well. And unfortunately, the only mainstream developer who seems to have understood this is Google, because there's a screen reader on the Motorola Droid called TalkBack, and that's going to be Android 2.0 specific. It's nothing Google has added as far as I'm aware. Here's the story. TalkBack is a screen reader, but it's the most interesting screen reader I've ever seen in the fact that it's only usable with a keyboard. So the Motorola Droid, you know how you slide up the screen to get to the keyboard? You know, you like this. That's the only way to use it. Now, granted, the keyboard's flat, but it does prove something. It proves that Google understands that touchscreens are not the best for us, and it's really best to have keyboard input. And the navigation is really quite something. It's really easy to use. All it is the arrow keys. But it's not quite there yet. There are some things... Now, granted, there might be keyboard shortcuts I'm not familiar with. But they understand that touchscreens are not the best for us, and I do wish that Apple offered a keyboard-only option with their iPhone, and I think that other manufacturers are going too far. Blackberry, for instance, the Blackberry Storm, I guarantee you that is probably never going to be accessible because of the touchscreen. Now, it has a tactile touchscreen, so this could be an advantage. But whether or not it will be accessible, I honestly very seriously doubt it. The BlackBerry screen reader was specifically designed for keyboard-based devices, and that's exactly what it should be. Picture, if you will, a keyboard, just a standalone laptop keyboard, without a screen, maybe with a row of mechanical dots down below. The mechanical dots are our screen. They are what is called a mechanical braille display. Above that, you have your traditional QWERTY-style keyboard, or in some cases you can have a braille keyboard. You need to understand that this technology is what our PDAs are composed of. Now, the reason our PDA sales have been possibly dropping, I say possibly, but I don't know that because I don't know this for a fact, but I have seen a lot of people are switching to netbooks with external braille displays. Why? Because, let's put it this way. Which would you rather have? a netbook at $350. Now let's take away the Braille for a second, okay? So a netbook for $350 or a note taker for $2,350. So it's like this. You have something that's close to a full PC, not quite because of the processing power, but close to a full PC for $350 versus something that's more along the lines of a Palm Pilot for $2,350. Which would you rather have? Now, granted, there are some people who are going to argue that the customized devices are the way to go. Now, they do have advantages like being custom built for us, but you know, it's just a lot of people are switching to the mainstream with these netbooks, and the same is true with the mobile phones. The mobile phones are actually, the high-end smartphones are starting to get more processing power than we've ever thought possible. Enough to run Pocket Office. Enough to basically replace these $2,000 devices. Now, the problem, again, the touch screens. Everybody's trying to outdo the iPhone. This is a very serious mistake when it comes to people who are blind or who have low vision, because it really puts us out of the loop. Now again, we've touched on accessibility for these touchscreen devices before. I'm not saying that it's not there. I'm saying that it's probably not the best for us. Will it be adaptable? Will it be learnable? Yes, but not by all. There are some that absolutely hate the touchscreen concept, and I don't blame them. After having spent 2 years with my Voyager, I honestly don't think I'm ever going to go back to a touchscreen. Now, I would like to have a full QWERTY keyboard for texting, but then again, at the same time, I'm transferring my texting to Gmail, so I'd have an even better keyboard anyway on my Mac. So, but the thing is, touchscreens. Not the best. They really hamper accessibility. We're being thrown out of the loop here. Now, while accessibility measures are being made, this is just my opinion, but I think Apple should just go ahead and release a keyboard for the iPhone and the iPod Touch, Bluetooth. Or, you know what? Apple has a wireless keyboard. They have a wireless keyboard. It's a laptop-style keyboard, same as the MacBooks. Use that. Create some Bluetooth drivers. Because the iPhone and iPod Touch run OS X, it should be easy to develop those drivers. So just get a here's the deal. So you could get an iPhone or an iPod Touch with the Bluetooth keyboard for $450 or $500 or whatever it is, after taxes and all that, and have a full note taker. Have a truly accessible note taker, because you would have the keyboard. You would have that tactile feedback. You wouldn't have to necessarily worry about the touch screen unless you were in a tight place. And that's basically what I'm saying here. Apple has done an interesting job in innovating with a gesture-only screen reader, but again, not everybody agrees with this, and I can see why. So, a lot of people would say that we're heading in the right direction. I'd say we're heading in the wrong direction, because as more and more touchscreen devices come out, less and less accessibility is going to be, out there. Particularly with the feature phones that don't have any buttons on them. The Nokia N900 is a very, very high-end MIMO Linux-based device. It is an internet tablet with phone capabilities aboard. Unfortunately, you cannot use it in vertical orientation. It is a resistive touch screen, no screen reader, no way to access that touch screen. There's a keyboard, but it's very cramped. It's only 3 rows, and for a person who is blind or has low vision, the more spacious you can make a keyboard, the better, because you need to understand. When you're paying, let's go back to that note-taker example. When you're paying $2,000, it's much better to use it as a laptop than a PDA. And the touchscreen devices are, again, making this quite difficult because of the keyboards. They're small keyboards. So we need a full-size keyboard support. We need to see more keyboard-based devices in the high-end market as opposed to touchscreens. Again, I do feel that we're heading in the wrong direction. Go ahead and read the description. Thank you for watching. Comments are welcome. Insults against me will get you blocked, and have a nice day.